Hi and welcome to this edition of Out of the Box. My name is Paul. Today we're going to have a look at what is in this big brown box. You might be mistaken for thinking this is the Ubiquiti UNVR-Pro, but no, this is actually the Ubiquiti UNAS-Pro, the Unified Network Attached Storage Appliance. So not going to be a big technical overview, going to show you what you get in the box and what the unit's like as well. I've got plenty more YouTubes on deep dive on this, of how to set it all up and how it all works. So let's get through the things that you're going to get in there. So you're going to get your little conformity and get started guide, which you may or may not even open. You're going to get a IEC power cable for the region that you are in, IEC at this end. This happens to be European, but if you're here in Australia, you get that swapped out to a Australian power pack when you receive the unit. You are going to get the rack ears because this device can be rack mounted as well. So you're going to get two of those. And then you're going to get a little container here of, let me see if I can open it up the right way, of all the screws and lugs that you need. There you go, to be able to actually fit this, both screw the rack ears to it and actually be able to mount it into the rack. And then you're going to get the device itself. So it is fairly sizable. All right, so let me just bring this up towards the camera for you. Okay, so it is a 7-bay device. I'm not sure I can show you all of that. We'll show it as we get a little bit closer. Let's start up this end. So you get a small display screen up here with all the normal bits and pieces for CPU and a memory and hard drive and IP addresses and everything over here. You get your 7 drive bays. These can take 3.5 and 2.5 drives, which I'll show you a little bit more in a moment. And you get 2 Ethernet ports. So you get a 1 gig Ethernet port over here and a 10 gig SFP port over here. What you can see down on the bottom here, as if I bring it a little bit further to camera, you can see the air intake slots here at the top and the bottom, which will allow the air to be drawn over the top and cool the device. On the sides here, obviously what we've got is the holes there and for mounting the rack mount ears on it. And then round on this side, because this is a Pro model, let me just put this round this way, because it's a Pro model, if you do have an RPS, a Ubiquiti RPS, then that can plug in there. Obviously we've got our cooling fans here that's going to draw that air in from the intake fans. And then we have our IEC connector in here. And we have our locking pin if you have a cable with the locking on it. Generally these are only made for Europe and America at the moment. So as you plug it in, that will then, once you've plugged it in, you can then lock it in place so that when you pull the cable, it doesn't come out of there. So let me just spin the device around here a little bit and set it up on here so you can have a little bit more of an easy look. One of the drive bays there is open, but let me just open this one up for you here. So like I said, this will take a 2.5 inch and a 3 inch. There are separate holes in there for being able to mount it in separately. Obviously this unit does RAID. The more drives you add in, it will move from a single hard drive to 2 hard drives, and then which will give you obviously a mirror, and then you move on to RAID 5. So hopefully you find that useful. It's a great device. It has some great opportunities. We've got customers who've got 22 terabyte drives that are being put in this. So it gives you a great expansion opportunity, this as a network of storage appliance. Why don't you head on over to our YouTube channel? We've got plenty more box openings. We've got how-to guides, how to set the UNAS up, how it all works, putting drives in it and everything else. So why don't you head over there, subscribe and stay up to date.